Have you ever settled into your seat on a plane, maybe put on your headphones and just relaxed, completely trusting that you'll land safely? That feeling of security wasn't always a given. It was built on lessons learned from tragedies. Today, we're going to talk about one such event, a disaster so pivotal that it forever changed the way we fly. This is the story of United Airlines Flight 232. It was a beautiful summer day, July 19, 1989. A McDonnell Douglas DC-10, named the City of Honolulu, took off from Denver, headed for Chicago, with 296 people on board. The flight was commanded by Captain Al Haynes, a veteran pilot with over 29,000 flight hours. Alongside him were First Officer William Records and Second Officer Dudley Dvorak. In the cabin, a team of 8 flight attendants prepared for a routine service. Everything was perfectly normal. About an hour into the flight, as the plane cruised at 37,000 feet over Iowa, a catastrophic event occurred. A loud bang echoed through the aircraft, followed by a violent shudder. Passengers looked out their windows, but saw nothing unusual with the wings. But in the cockpit, the crew knew something was terribly wrong. Alarms blared. Captain Haynes and his crew fought to control the plane, but the yoke, the steering wheel of the aircraft, was useless. The plane had lost all of its hydraulic systems. To understand how dire this was, imagine driving a car and suddenly your steering wheel, your brakes, and your gas pedal all stop working at the same time. The DC-10 had 3 independent hydraulic systems as a fail-safe. On Flight 232, all 3 were severed. What the crew did not know yet was that the fan disc in the tail-mounted No. 2 engine had shattered due to a microscopic manufacturing flaw. Shrapnel, flying at supersonic speeds, had ripped through the tail, severing the hydraulic lines that controlled the plane's elevators, ailerons, and rudder, essentially everything needed to steer. The aircraft immediately began to pitch and roll, entering a phugoid cycle, a terrifying roller coaster motion of climbing and diving. With no conventional controls, Captain Haynes and his crew had to invent a way to fly the plane. They quickly discovered their only means of control was by varying the thrust of the 2 remaining wing-mounted engines. Pushing the left engine's throttle forward would make the plane turn right, and vice versa. It was an incredibly crude and difficult way to fly a massive jetliner. By a stroke of sheer luck, another pilot, Dennis "Dink" Fitch, was on board as a passenger. Fitch was a DC-10 training instructor and knew the aircraft's systems inside and out. Hearing the commotion, he offered his help. He joined the crew in the cockpit, kneeling between the pilots, and took control of the throttles, making minute adjustments to try and keep the plane stable. For over 40 minutes, this 4-man team did the impossible. They guided a crippled, barely controllable aircraft toward the nearest airport, Sioux Gateway in Sioux City, Iowa. On the ground, an unprecedented emergency response was underway. Rescuers from all over the region converged on the airport, preparing for the worst. The crew informed the passengers of the situation with remarkable calm, instructing them on brace positions. The atmosphere in the cabin was tense but orderly, a testament to the professionalism of the flight attendants. As they approached Sioux City, the crew's biggest challenge was landing. Without flaps or slats to slow down, their approach speed was nearly double the normal landing speed, and with only the engines to steer, a straight landing was almost impossible. Their plan was to aim for any runway they could. In the final moments, as they descended, the plane's right wing dipped and caught the ground. The DC-10 cartwheeled down the runway, breaking into several pieces and bursting into flames. It was a scene of utter devastation. From the outside, it looked like no one could have survived. But then, the miracle of Sioux City unfolded. As rescuers rushed into the fiery wreckage, they began finding survivors. People started walking out of the cornfield where the main cabin section had landed upside down. In the end, against all odds, 184 people, including all 4 pilots in the cockpit, survived the crash. 112 people tragically lost their lives. While the loss of life was heartbreaking, the fact that anyone survived was a miracle, a direct result of what became known as Crew Resource Management, or CRM. The textbook coordination, communication, and creative problem-solving in that cockpit set a new standard for the industry. Before Flight 232, the captain's authority was often absolute. This accident proved that a collaborative approach, where every crew member's input is valued, saves lives. CRM training became mandatory and far more robust worldwide. The investigation also led to engineering changes. Redesigns were implemented to better protect hydraulic lines from engine failures. Inspection methods for engine fan discs became far more rigorous to catch tiny flaws like the one that doomed Flight 232. The story of United 232 is a powerful reminder that aviation safety is a system built on continuous improvement. It honors the memory of those who were lost and celebrates the heroism of a crew who, faced with an impossible situation, flew their crippled jet with nothing but courage and ingenuity. The next time you fly, remember Captain Haynes, his crew, and the passengers of Flight 232. Their legacy is in the calm, routine flights we take for granted every single day. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more deep dives into pivotal moments in history. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.